Hey guys, you're watching DualShockers TV on DualShockers.com. This is the end of day 2 of E3. People are filing out or crawling out a little slower than usual. We definitely hit up a lot of stuff today. The first of which was Saints Row 4, and the game was so good, I actually took a shit on my badge. Okay, no, I'm kidding. But it's actually a chocolate chip that just fell inside. I don't know how.
I was mortified just
Yeah. No, but Saints Row 4, so far from what I saw, is that damn good. The dubstep gun was hilarious and deadly. And, yeah, it's one of those games where you can just have a ton of fun, just turn your brain off. There's a little bit of a story, like an action movie. I know you two, you were watching me play. Masood, you got to play it too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of those people who loved 3, but then wondered if 4 was like getting a little too crazy. And then when I played it today, like just, the whole presidency thing, it fit, it worked. The humor was the dialogue was great, just like 3 was. It works.
What did you decide to help? Because in the beginning, you get a choice between what do you like. The budget can only support one thing: fight hunger and cure cancer.
Yeah.
So what did you pick?
I picked fuck cancer. I love that bill.
I also, yes, fuck cancer, yeah.
Perfect bill. That bill was just awesome. So, yeah, I did that. Once you get into the other part of the game, the superhero part, crazy, insane. It works, though. You run fast. You glide everywhere. It's awesome. The dubstep gun, the dubstep gun, that's all you have to say.
Yeah, there was also the singularity gun, which could actually fire black holes at people.
Yeah.
And, you can see the interview on the site. I asked them, like, where do you think this stuff up? Like, this is totally insane. But, yeah, no, definitely that's a game I think everybody should watch out for. Grand Theft Auto 5 is on the horizon, but Saints Row 4 looks like it's going to be really good between, the month before GTA 5 comes out. So that was our first appointment.
Yeah, the majority of the day we spent at EA. Yeah, so we got a chance to check out Plants vs. Zombies. What is it? Garden Warfare. Yeah. So we had a chance to check that out. It wasn't really anything different from what we saw at the. It was the exact same thing, trailer. Which was kind of crazy because we waited in line for like a while.
Fair. They went into a bit of detail about the abilities of each of the different plant classes. So there's something new there.
While showing the exact same trailer.
I hate that shit. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, but I mean, all joking aside, and even though they did show the same damn trailer, it's actually looking to be a really fun multiplayer game for folks who are looking for something other than somebody with a gun and the zombie horde or whatever coming at you. So I think and I really I was telling the creative director, what was his name again? I forgot.
Brain is mush. Sorry.
It's been a long day. I apologize in advance, and I'm sorry. But I was telling him that I really appreciated, because I played D&D, that they had the 4 basic job classes, which is the ranger, the healer, the tank, and the major damage dealer. So I really thought that was awesome. And he was like, yeah, we have a couple people who play D&D. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. No, I think if you play some RPGs or even some shooters where they have the varied classes, it's going to be easy to pick up Plants vs. Zombies. Speaking of shooters, Dave and I, during the EA appointment, had a chance to play multiplayer of Battlefield 4. Yeah. And Dave, you're like Mr. fucking Battlefield, so what do you think?
I liked it so far. Actually, there's some things I noticed that they really hadn't explained a whole lot yet. Like the Recon class is a heck of a lot more like it was in Battlefield Bad Company 2, and the user interface is cleaned up a lot. Like they group guns into different categories so that you don't have to scroll through a ton to find them, and you can have more than one gadget. And there's more attachments and basically a lot more customizability. So that was a pleasant surprise. There's a green laser instead of the red laser, and it hurts the enemy's eyes. But just generally good. I still want to find out a heck of a lot more about it, but I had fun playing it.
It did look a lot like Battlefield 3, though, didn't it?
did. I actually suspect it is Battlefield 3 with a bunch of extra stuff tacked on, like a new GUI. But like, yeah, like actually, one of the things I want to find out is like what is the big thing that makes it a 4 instead of like a big expansion.
It's like the only thing they were banking on, I mean, in that demo, is that you could take down the skyscraper, which I did by myself. I got in a tank. That was the first thing I did. And actually, one of the developers was standing behind me. He's like, yeah, take it down. He was so excited. But yeah, that's one game I'm probably going to wait to hear more about it before I get really invested in it.
Yeah, that being said, like, Battlefield 3 is excellent, and so anything you can add to it just is like overload. So I'm still pretty happy with the game.
You guys got to check out a shooter as well. You saw Titanfall.
Yeah, we got to check out Titanfall. I was actually kind of worried that we were going to get the exact same thing that we saw at the convention, but
they revealed,
at the conference. Excuse me.
Just you know, you get that feeling it's going to be the same demo. Yeah. Then all of a sudden they remove the black curtain that's on a wall, and you just see a host of gamers playing, and you can see their screen, you can see they're doing stuff.
Whoa!
You're like, okay, I believe they're doing something. This is good, you know?
No, they were doing something because they were actually talking. They were like, okay, go over there. And then I just could hear muttering. And they're like, what was that? It was. They were definitely all talking to each other and coordinating. So the game is much farther along than I thought it would be for a game that's supposed to be coming out next year, to 2014. So, like, even so, I mean, they did say that it was just an alpha or pre-alpha?
I think so. And, you know, for an alpha build, whether it's pre-alpha, alpha, or whatever the hell it is, it looks amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, graphics,
it's
great.
It's like a put-together game.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some people on the net and some people, you know, here, you know, like saying, oh, well, you know, it might be crappy, it might be that. But when we saw it, the game is so kinetic. Like, the people playing didn't stop for 1 minute. Like, they kept moving. They were. It seems like you have some kind of like BioShock type of ability with your left hand. Like, you can do some kind of a force blast or something. You're shooting. You're jumping into mechs. You're jumping out of mechs. You're killing people who are jumping out of their mechs. Everything is happening at the same time, and teamwork is vital because everyone is trying to kill each other. And they're jumping off of walls. They're rocket boosting everywhere. It seems like it might be a crazy, awesome Xbox game. I would love it to come to the PS4 since I'm like hoping to get a PS4 more than Xbox One, but I would love to play that game wherever it came out. It's coming to PC too, so.
Yeah, it's totally coming to PC.
But yeah, I mean, what else? I mean, you're like, I was trying to take notes, but I saw her eyes were just glued to the screen. Like.
I was. I mean, it was. I couldn't believe that it was an actual. It was a pre-alpha build.
Yeah.
Because again, it was so put together, and I mean, people,
pretty.
and so pretty too.
And the sound effects. All right, I know everyone hates Michael Bay and the Transformers franchise and how much it overused the same thing, but. There was a Starhawk-like effect. Like, anytime a Titan, you know, like, they'll tell you, oh, Titanfall's coming or whatever, and you see the Titan come down from the sky, it's more than Starhawk. Like, when he comes down, you hear it, they do the little Transformers effect, and then it just pauses, like in that, you know, Terminator pose. And then, you know, it gets
jump
up,
on me.
Yeah, right? And you, like, my heart, I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And then you know some shit's going to go down because he's going to pick someone up, throw them, and then start shooting everyone. Great moment, you know?
Yeah, and then it was, I have to say, this is like, I haven't seen like a mech game like so, that plays, like, looks so well and plays so well, because I mean, it looks like it's a first person shooter, and then you jump into mech and it becomes a completely different game.
Yeah.
So it was just really great. I mean, we're gushing over it, we're fangirl and fanboying over it, but
no,
you know,
no, of course not. No,
of course not. But yeah, so it's going to be great. Like, we're definitely going to be keeping our eye on it, and whatever news we find out, we will totally let you know.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I could say on that, Dave knows I'm a crazy mech guy. I just love the fact that they decided to say, we're not going to do a slow-ass mech that you see in Lost Planet or in, not so much Armored Core, but, you know, they said we're going to make him agile, we're going to make it look human, and they said that there's two different games in one. You have the large-scale combat with the Titan, the small-scale combat with the pilots. It looks great together. I'm really interested to see what they can do and how they're going to affect other mech games in the future. So, yeah.
We also got to see a slight demo of the UFC, right?
That's right, yeah. You guys are going to see the interview a little later on, but you know, I'm also a UFC fan. You know, both the sport and the game. it's amazing just seeing, like, you know, I mean, you're going to see in the interview, but the amount of detail they're trying to put into the game, it feels like they're just, you might as well just boot my mind up into the Matrix and put it in there, because everything they're talking about is about making you look like you're actually grabbing somebody, showing the discoloration when someone chokes you out. Like, I think it's going to freak out some parents when they start seeing their kids playing, like, games where, you know, some dude is, you know, dying on the screen, but it looks fantastic, and that was pre-alpha too.
Yeah, that was totally I was actually floored that it was pre-alpha, what they were showing us. What was even crazy too is that they were showing the injuries, which was kind of gross, actually.
Have you seen UFC though?
I mean, no, well, I know, but even so, but like they had like a show, they had like a close up of a excuse me, of a fighter's face at the end of the fight, and it was just like he was like, okay, which one's the game? And we were like,
I am proud to say I picked the right
yeah,
one.
he did.
First.
He did. I
was a little unsure, but I was like, D. But it's still, I mean, it was still a fantastic, like, it looked just like the other ones. It was really hard. Like, no one else raised their hand. I barely knew. And when you look at, like she said, it was gross. Like, you just see the dude's lip busted open. There's marks all over. But they're trying not to do the thing where you hit somebody twice in the eye and then the same exact rip opens up. You know, it moves as you do it, you know? So that's really cool. I think that's also going to be something cool for the next generation of sports games. You know, I would love to see what they do more with that, you know?
I have to say it was a little trippy seeing the what is it called, the deformation?
Yeah.
It was really, the full body deformation was kind of weird because, you know, you see a fighting game and you're just like, you know, you just expect how do I explain it? Like, you just expect just nothing happening, and then I was totally trying to, but just like it's like you don't expect anything to happen, but to actually see, like, you know, the indentation, like, you know, of like a hand going there and like somebody like actually grabbing the stomach and seeing the indentation of it was really weird. It was something that I sure as hell have never seen on a fighting game.
And it's kind of funny because you kind of ignored it. We have ignored it for a whole generation, and then he showed us his own video where it's like they're holding the guy and he's not actually holding him. He's picking him up and throwing him, but his hands are over here. And they even said, well, this was our own game. We're not trying to do that anymore. They showed us the next thing. It was awesome, you know? So, yeah.
Anything else?
That gameplay sounds like a word that we use all too much in video games called visceral. But that's definitely the first thing I thought of. We had a chance to check out two other games at EA. The first was NHL 14. I'm a big hockey fan. What they're bringing to the table looks pretty good. But, I mean, there's only like a few minor improvements here and there. It's still a pretty good franchise, in my opinion. And we got to see Need for Speed Rivals. And that was another one where I am kind of looking forward to it. But it's like...
By the way, I got to say something about that. David's terrible at it.
Oh, no, I was bad. It was nothing like the other Hot Pursuit games, and they've been doing this for a while now.
Dave, you're not supposed to be bad at anything, all right? Like,
no, I was terrible. I got my ass kicked. They were doing laps around me. I was going the wrong direction. I was head-on collisions. It was bad.
That's not about as bad as me completely killing my whole entire party when I played Final Fantasy 14. It's so embarrassing. It was like a huge screen. Everybody was looking at me, and everybody just was like criticizing, and it was because I just didn't know how to play the game and with a controller. So that was it.
It was just that moment.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Anyway.
you just want to sink in your chair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that pretty much was everything we saw today. A lot of big games. Got our hands on some next gen stuff, and looking forward to tomorrow, our last day. We have some big appointments, and we thrilled to bring you guys some more coverage. So you've been watching DualShockers TV on DualShockers.com. With me was Masood House, Diana Laura, David Fenster, and me, David Rodriguez. Take care.